Welcome to That Davis Show. I am your host, Kenneth Davis, and of course, I'm lucky enough to always have with me the executive producer of this show and Flipping Friends, Ryan Bukoveski. Follow him at Ryan B. Ski and Ryan B. Ski 1 on Instagram as he goes tonight after this show to work out on his platonic friendship workout.
Don't you put air quotes around that like I'm a lying SOB?
Quote, 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 air quote,
Right.
quote, quote. Yeah. Listen, we got a lot to get into. It's definitely going to be a focus on basketball of what took place last night and what we were hyping up. All right. We got it. Listen, I hate that injuries took out the Nets, but we got what we wanted, Ryan. All right.
Predictions were right.
Yes, we should have took this to Vegas. All right. God, we don't have to go to Vegas anymore to make bets, but we should have took it to Vegas.
Actually, I do. I don't think they allow gambling here in Arizona yet.
Really?
Really? Right.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. That's crazy.
Literally the reaction I had. I was like, huh? I can go get a gun with a driver's license, but I can't gamble.
Zona.
Right.
But listen, the victory last night in Milwaukee, the crowning of Giannis Antetokounmpo, that's my off-top one. I forgot. Let's go off top. Take it from the top.
Top?
The tippy. Listen, Giannis, watching that game last night, he had already begun playing like a man possessed, as we said on past episodes. But watching him say, I'm not going to Phoenix. Like, I'm not even risking it. All right, Chris Middleton wasn't having a good game. Drew Holiday wasn't having a good game. Giannis said, I'm dry. And I tweeted it out. I was like, Giannis, this is before, of course, I think he had like 39. I was like, Giannis is going for 50. And I'm not saying that like, oh, I said something. I mean, he was going for it, and Phoenix didn't have anything to stop that young man. It's nothing like someone seeing the finish line and sticking it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like he saw the finish line and he stuck it. He didn't mess around. He didn't dilly-dally. He grabbed it by the reins and won him one. And to see the jovial nature, how much fun he had when he came out and he was dancing and doing this, like just to see him at Chick-fil-A today on Instagram or whatever platform that he was on, getting 50 nuggets. He was like, not 49, not 51, 50, right? It reminds you of that Kobe Bryant, Jalen Rose commercial where Kobe asked for like 81 drinks or something like that, or olives or something in his martini or something like that.
The olives.
Yeah, dude, that was one of those that you're always going to remember. I don't have any hate of Milwaukee because for me growing up, they were like the little stepbrother. I used to watch Bucks games on Antenna TV on Channel 13. Used to come in kind of real hazy or whatever, but I would watch the Ray Allen, Big Dog, Vin Baker, Eric Murdoch, Todd Day. I would watch those
with the
teams.
Blue too.
With the I really remember being in the green and purple. I feel like.
Oh, was it purple? Well, colorblind.
Green and purple. And so I've never been like, I can't stand Milwaukee because I mean, like I know in the early '80s into the mid '80s they had the Bulls number. I was too young for that, so I've never had a dislike for them. Proximity didn't cause me to dislike them like that, and I've always enjoyed Giannis. I always remember watching him in that draft. And I think I said it on here before. I remember what stood out to me was him and Rudy Gay after the draft. Both were like, yeah, I'm coming over here. And at that time, they were still stashing players overseas. They still stash players overseas. Bulls had a second round pick last year. They're stashing overseas. You saw it with Nikola Mirotic stashed overseas. But when they said that, I was like, damn, that's dope. I like the fact that they're like, nah, I want to get to the grind. And both of them ended up being really good. One's a great player, one's a really good player. And when you talk about Rudy Gobert, and Giannis, of course, is a great player. That energy. I said it last week. I'm envious of it. I saw a highlight reel of Derrick Rose this week, and it just made me go back to the last time it mattered. You know what I'm saying? And to see all those fans, 60,000, 65,000 strong in the Deer District. I'm probably going to Milwaukee Friday. I'm supposed to go to the Sox Brewers game. It's dude. Shout out to Milwaukee. Shout out to the Bucks putting that team together. Remember, we were sitting there talking about sitting there not getting Bogdanovich. They didn't need him.
Right.
And guess what? I don't know. He probably still wouldn't have went there because if he would have decided the league would have nullified that deal. But he has to be sitting at home like, I missed one. And I mean, he still has a chance with Atlanta, but you could have been a part of that team. And we were like, man, if they had him, you would feel the chances were more secured as far as them winning it all. And they didn't need him. All they needed was Kyrie to get hurt, from Giannis to stick his foot under him. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. But
hey, he paid for it.
Giannis was
not
like,
big enough.
Giannis was like, okay, I got to get mine. Dog, he went and he validated his career. Like that's what he did. He was on that Steve Nash timeline. All right, where it was like, I heard you got them MVPs, but what you got to show for it? And now he has the MVP of the finals and the championship. Shout out to Giannis Antetokounmpo, man. Proud of you. Love that work ethic. Love that desire. Love that you said at times when we were like, maybe Giannis needs to be like the B. And he was like, no, I'm the A. And went out there and stuck it.
And handed some A.
He handed some A, all right. So damn, that was
he might have ruined DeAndre Ayton's career after that game.
He could have. DeAndre Ayton was confused and scared. Dude, what the hell was that?
Ooh.
Like, what's going on? Listen, I sat there tonight and I was like, damn, I want some more basketball. Right? It was like,
no.
And I didn't know I was gonna feel like that, but that's how good the finals was. That it left me wanting some more. But I didn't think it was going to go to 7, and I didn't want to go to 7. Bucks in 6. That's what they were saying after losing the first 2 games. Man, shout out. I'm sorry that CP3 didn't win one, but man, as I said, I had a little bit more of me wanting Giannis to win it, and I'm happy that Giannis just didn't win it. He killed it. Right.
I mean, all-time greatest closeout game to win the finals right there. I mean, that was
okay.
Up there.
Magic playing center as a rookie. Had 42, like 17 and 7.
I don't know the closeout, but Dwayne Wade always sticks out to me with the finals.
That's a good one.
Domination.
Jordan had 45 when he hit the shot against Bryant Russell. And one thing I'll say this about the Jordan one that people keep forgetting. They keep talking about Jordan hitting the shot, but they don't talk about the fact that Jordan stole the ball from Karl Malone to set that up, which is
right.
But yeah, I mean, it could be this Giannis one, man. And I'm not trying to be a prisoner of the moment, but he willed the whole day. Right. Like I don't remember what Pippen had that game, but I don't remember Pippen having a bad game that game. You know what I'm saying? So, but this was where Giannis was by himself. And he had 40, I think 47 or 49% of their offense last night. It could be that this one is the one. Because I mean, like he was everywhere.
Except for your guy, Bobby Portis. That's about it.
Bobby Portis has a ring. Think about that.
I was
Bobby Portis.
When Malika was interviewing him, and she's like, "Oh shit, I don't have any questions for Bobby Portis." Hey, Bobby, how do you feel? Okay, get the hell out of here.
Right.
Like I just kept thinking, like, man, Bobby's got a ring.
Crazy Eyes has a ring, dude. Like, and we were saying that's one of the players. The players like that, PJ Tucker. Now they may not all showed up all the time during the playoffs, but there were particular times where these players they stood out. And it was enough. Mike Budenholzer, he pulled it off, even though that was all Giannis last night, though. Yeah. Oh, he told get out there.
I'm not a prisoner of a moment with the Budenholzer. I'll tell you that.
No, that was all Giannis. But man, that was a fantastic game. I was so happy for Giannis last night. Like, this is the thing. When you don't like the player that wins, let's just say like whoever the star player is, and they win the championship, like I'll keep it for real with you. The buck. I don't really like watching SportsCenter. I don't really want to watch whatever shows come on in the morning. I want to not watch that stuff about 2 or 3 days so I don't have to hear them talking about said player. I recorded everything because I love me some Giannis Antetokounmpo. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to revel in the fact that Giannis did it, man. And it seemed like Giannis wasn't going to do it with these playoff failures the past 2 seasons. Giannis pulled it off, man. And I couldn't be more proud and happy for that gentleman to reach the mountaintop.
And both ends, like just killing it. Both ends. Doesn't matter. Like, I'm making a major impact defensively, and I'm just unstoppable offensively. And then killing it with the free throw line. Woo!
17
Giannis,
of 19.
baby.
17 of 19, dog. Like that.
He called all his misses, by the way. I was like, he's missing one. He ain't going 6 for 6, 5 of 6. And then at the end, I was like, he's got to miss one more. He can't go with just one miss.
Right, dude. It was just that was just some good television. Last
it really
night.
was.
Even if you were a fan of neither team, I mean, if you're a Suns fan, it wasn't. That had to hurt.
Ooh.
If you were that had to,
especially seeing Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton playing so poorly for most of that game.
That was your chance. That was your at home. That was your chance.
And you were down for the Suns, like what? 5-6 points late in the third, early fourth, and Devin Booker hadn't even started cooking yet. Right. You were feeling like, man, we might be able to really steal this.
Totally. And then Giannis put his foot on the ass.
Yeah. It's like drive it, Devin.
This game is a wrap. It was like this is a wrap. Shuddy is like, no, like, oh my goodness, that was sweet. That was sweet, man. I really enjoyed that. For if not to be my team, I enjoyed seeing that team win the title last night.
I'm with you. One of the best finals that I've not been emotionally invested in, that I really, really became emotionally invested in.
Mm-hmm. I think it's funny you said, Bray. I think the final before this that I got emotionally invested in is weird would be Golden State's first one when LeBron was just kicking their ass, but he didn't have anybody to help him. Right. That one was that one was
the MVP.
He should have been an MVP. I know he ended up getting tired. But for like the first 3 games, at least maybe 4, that was like the greatest finals playing series. That was the greatest player. I'm messing it all up. That was the best performance of a player in the finals that I had ever seen. Those first few games by himself against that Golden State team, because he almost beat them. Like if he would have had Kyrie, they would have beat them.
Probably,
because I always say you flip flop the first 2 because Draymond got himself suspended. So game 6 for the second one when the Cavs came back and won. But yeah, man, but this one getting back to a Giannis, man, hats off. Man, hats off.
The Greek Freak.
You pulled it off, man, and you can't take it back. You can never take it back.
What about these poor Phoenix Suns?
What do you do? Like, so, okay.
You wave goodbye to Chris Paul, apparently.
They have a window. They have an exclusive negotiating window with Chris Paul that's about to begin. And he can he's opting out regardless. But I think it goes like this. He declined the player option. So in this window, they can give him a deal that's, I think, can go to 3 years, 2 to 3 years. But if he goes to free agency, they can sign him for 4 years. So they may want to sign him to a lesser annual, but it's more money that he would have and stretch it. You got to bring him back. You saw how important he was to your team. I don't think
you
Chris.
Think though the LeBron thing in Game 5.
The money? Where's the money for Chris Paul?
Very true.
And again, and I said this. I don't know with the Snyder situation because he turned down an $80 million contract from the Lakers. I don't know if that means the Lakers have $80 million because they probably would have Snyder's bird rights. So I don't know if Snyder doesn't sign. I don't know if the Lakers just have cap space to bring in Chris Paul at the number that he would prefer. And I don't know if Chris Paul is that type of ring chaser. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have, I mean, he had to get traded, but I don't know. I don't know if that's what Chris Paul really wants to do. It would be interesting. I'll say this though. It would be interesting if I'm always trying to send someone to Miami, if he took his services to Miami, because I mean, culturally, we know he would fit. And then you would have someone to take the stress off of Jimmy trying to do everything. So that, and I just thought about this while we're talking. But yeah, I don't know if the Lakers have enough, and I don't know if Chris Paul wants to win that way. You know, that's not even dissing it, but I don't know if that's is desirable to him. If as long as I get a ring, regardless of how I get it, I just want a ring. I don't know if Chris Paul is that type of person.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was really disappointed how he finished that last game, this game 6. I felt like he was just deferring way too much to Devin Booker late. And Devin Booker clearly needed some extra help. And I wasn't seeing it from DeAndre Ayton at all, Mikal Bridges, some of these other guys. And when you're seeing a lot of Jay Crowder, you know, those last few shots, I'm like, what's going on here? And there was like a save ball that he passed up a wide open 3 when it was about a 6-point game and it was getting really late. I couldn't believe he passed that thing up. He must not be right physically right now.
I don't think he is right, and he's never played this long until the postseason. But I think you can physically see something was wrong with him, and he was just going to try to gut it out. You know. Also, I mean, he's an old, not as athletic as he used to be guard. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you can't. Father Time's unbeaten, but I definitely think. I mean, everyone has nagging injuries, but I think he had some injuries that he just didn't want to use as an excuse or a crutch to lean on.
Which is why Chris Paul is a badass to begin with. But man, those Suns, I feel like if they can't get Chris Paul back, they might be saying goodbye to Devin Booker pretty soon.
Ooh, really?
I don't know what they do. Like, if there's a free agent that's going to come there, because if you trade away a lot of pieces, that's kind of what makes the Suns right now. I don't know. I don't know if and what kind of player you want to put with Devin Booker. I guess he needs another dominant wing, but he probably needs more of like a point forward wing type where they can be a ball handler, but also more of a down low threat so that you at least balance it out, because when you got a guy like Giannis just dominating down low, shooting those long threes is not the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. And not to say he's going to be what you're saying, but I don't know if they want to put somebody over Mikal Bridges at the 3. You saw what you did when you had a nice point guard. It may be that you need another point guard to go with, but I'm with you. They still need an even bigger wing defender is what they need on that team. You know what I'm saying? Like some power forward who is a 3-and-D type guy would probably be what they would if they can get somebody like that, some type of stretch 4 who's a 3-and-D guy.
Too much of a 5.
Right. Totally. You know, like anytime you got a dude coming at you at Giannis with the stutter step and the crossover, and you a center, what? I mean, come on. It's not too much. We didn't grow up seeing centers stop guys doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't. You know, like if it's the equivalent of, like, for instance, a center on, and Giannis is better than this player, but like on Tony Kukoc, even though Tony was going left, but you're not really going to be able to stay in front of a 6'11" guy with crazy handles. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it's especially if they shifty. So again, Shorty got scared. You know what I'm saying? They went up into his throat, but you can't put all of it on him. And the stage got super bright. And as we said, these home crowds have been ridiculous. And dude, they had 60 more. They had 65,000 more people outside. The energy alone.
That place must have been shaken just from the outside.
Come on, dude. Like, oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do as far as the Suns. I would definitely keep Chris Paul. You may be able to get some vets now to come there since they've seen what that team could do. And it's in Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like
a bad place to live.
Talk that talk. You would know, right? But I mean, I would definitely start off by keeping Chris Paul because, I mean, he was the fulcrum. You know what I'm saying? He was the change, even though we saw what happened in the bubble, them winning, 8 or 9 straight games. Or I think they were 8-0 in the bubble. So that was the start, but he took them over the top, but it's just not enough. I mean, imagine if he can stay healthy and DeAndre Ayton takes another step and Devin Booker from being in the finals takes another step. you may not, and Mikal Bridges just improves some more. And look at Johnson. Cam Johnson. Imagine if they really had used him. Like they may have a chance. I mean, the West is gonna be crazy next year. I mean, crazy. The Warriors are gonna be probably back. I don't know to back to the level that they were at, but you're gonna have Murray back.
Right. Those Nuggets with the Murray, they might have been in the finals.
They probably would have. Or Utah if Donovan Mitchell was healthy. Like it was, man.
Lakers, if AD can stay healthy with LeBron.
Dude, this was a war of attrition. And cats went out. And some cats, Giannis, listen, it looked like Giannis tore his knee up. And Giannis, I'm getting mine, man. Stick the needle in it, and went out and got it.
I love that he knew this is my real chance because that Nets team, that ain't going anywhere anytime soon. And they're going to be back if they stay healthy.
If they stay healthy.
But we just talked about, who did LeBron lose? Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving seems to always get hurt every single playoffs.
That's the thing. That's
Boston,
the thing.
And James Harden always wears out. We talk about this all the time. It's playoff time. James is worn out.
Yeah, so don't necessarily it's written in stone, but I mean they have to be the odds-on favorite next year. But still,
at least Giannis knew, hey, I got to get it because I actually beat that team to get here. I got to finish this thing.
And I took Kyrie out. That's how much I wanted it. I was dirty.
I love you, Kyrie, but you're not Greek. You're not Greek, my friend.
No. But damn, dude. Listen, Monty Williams. Hopefully, this helps him in his coaching career take it to another level. But still, man.
I mean, the motivation is there for the Suns, right? Like
it's just the West.
So damn close.
It's just the West,
right?
Man. And
we didn't even talk about Kawhi coming back with the Clippers.
But I mean, who knows how long it's gonna take before he can come back?
True,
because I forgot the last
he's
person
out the season anyways, basically.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So, man, the West is gonna be crazy next year, to say the least. It's gonna be crazy.
And that's with no player movement. Like, what if the Lakers do get like Russ Westbrook or Chris Paul or something like that? Like,
great point, man. They gave Russell Westbrook. Whoa. Whoa,
like they are. Oof, they're not far away from being like way out of everyone's league.
Right, dude. Like that. I mean, I'm looking forward to next season. I mean, especially now since you have to live through other teams. Since our team is a middling team, I mean, it would be nice if we were talking about the Bulls and what they can do next year. But it's just.
We're going to do the same thing we've done for the last 3 years. Will they make the playoffs as the 8th seed this year?
Yeah, man.
Can they get swept in the first round by Giannis and the Bucks? Just need to qualify to get there.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry I ruined the vibes right there, but it is what it is. Anyway, moving along and thinking about this too with those two teams. Devin Booker has to sit on a plane with Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday while they still smell like cognac and champagne and cigars, and he smells like defeat, and fly to Tokyo.
He's going to sit in the bathroom on purpose the entire time.
FaceTime and Kendall.
How are the Kardashians doing? Are they all right after this big loss?
I don't know, but I would be on the phone with Colangelo and with Pop, like, hey man, y'all understand, right? Yeah, I'm not coming. I heard Zach LaVine is back. Y'all good, man. I Shorty can run. I'm out. Like I don't think, dude, to be honest, I ain't going. Let me say that. If it was me, I can't.
Right.
I need some time to digest this loss, to get my head right. Focus.
He's got to go to work. Like we just talked about, this thing is going to be hard sledding next year if you're even thinking about getting back to the finals.
Yeah, I couldn't even do it, man.
And what's going to be tough for Devin Booker too is he's going to have that target on his back now. There's no like, oh, no one sees the Suns. Who are these Suns team that are exciting?
Now there's expectations. So people are going to expect you went to the finals. You cannot make it to the playoffs, even in the West next year. But going with the Olympics, though, I mean, to be honest with you, only reasons that I'm cool with it going on is because athletes train years and years for this one chance, and they missed it last year. And I mean, basketball players. I'm not even really talking about like the professional players. I'm talking about these people that only get every 4 years they get a chance, and this is real. I mean, they have the world championships and stuff like that, but you know what I mean. It's their World Cup. And so that's the only reason that I'm kind of like, I guess, but they really shouldn't be having the Olympics, with the low vaccination rate in Japan, with the citizens not even wanting the Olympics, the fans not even being in the stadiums and the stands.
And I was thinking about like, when you're in a bubble with like the NBA and stuff, like it sucks kind of going hotel arena. I mean, they're going to be doing the exact same thing for 2 weeks. And like some of these things, when you go to a place with empty stadium, you kind of leave there and go back to your hub. They're not going to no hub. They're just staying there for weeks out of the hotel room from their cardboard beds down to the Olympics, right back.
I mean, think about the Olympic Village. It's going to be full of Rona. And they got this new variant that's out now.
Right, the Delta variant?
No, they got a new one, dude.
Another one? The first one that landed in Texas?
Yeah, exactly. I heard it this morning on NPR. The Lambda. So first thing I thought was Revenge of the Nerds. Lambda. I was just like, the Revenge of the Nerds variant? But I'm like, who came up with that?
Waka waka.
Right. But they got this new lambda, and I'm like, it hit me. I was like, dude, I really have to really start acting. And I have, like, there's viruses out here, regardless of being vaccinated or not, because there's still a chance with all these different variants. And they're like, this one, the spiked protein on it, it may be harder for the vaccinations to compared to the Delta to keep this one at bay. So I mean, just think about all the people we kept seeing that aren't going to make it to the Olympics because they got it. There's already people there that have it that don't even know they have it. They have it. We don't even know. We already know that a lot of countries they don't even have enough vaccines. So think about that. Some of these countries don't have enough vaccines. So I would think that some of their athletes aren't vaccinated, even though some people may put a premium on the athletes and give them special access to the vaccinations. But it's a bad mix, man. And it's a bitch's brew. And this is just, I'm sorry that this is going on. And I hate to say it, they damn near need to just try to do this again next year and then have another Olympics in 2 more years. But they still are going to have the 2024 Olympics. But it's just, it's not time yet, man. And going through it, I mean, I hope no one gets extremely sick from this. I guess that's one thing that I want to say. But I'm not as stoked as I would usually be. I'm definitely going to watch, but I'm not as hyped as I would be for the Olympics in general.
Neither am I. I'm the same way. I think, it's not terrible without fans in the stands, but losing them is really tough. And especially if there's some preseason games, I'm not sure if that aligns with the calendar. Seeing like full stadiums of preseason games, and then you turn on the Olympics and it's just dead quiet and open and empty. Like, that's going to be bizarre.
Right. Dude, watching swimming and you can hear every dive.
Every slap.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, listen, they better pipe in some fan noise or something, man. Learn from what these teams did
real
during this shit, but pipe in some.
You think they got the cardboard cutouts all set up right now?
I don't know. They should. They definitely should.
Japan was the one that first started the cardboard cutouts.
Well, it's Korea. It was Korea.
Korea. That's right.
It was Korea. Wow, look at you.
What?
Nothing.
Oh. So that makes me a lumper because I got the wrong country.
Okay. That's why you got the wrong country. But what about you as far as there been any buzz? How do you feel about this Olympics?
Well, I'll tell you what, that opening ceremony is going to be bizarre with no people
Right.
there. Like that's one of the kind of highlights, just for the fact that every country's hyped at that point. Like it's kind of like the NFL. Like we're all 0-0, so we all have a chance at the Super Bowl and getting the most Olympic medals and all that good stuff. But just seeing and you always get the waves, from them carrying the
Yeah,
flags.
who are they
Right,
waving to now?
right, right.
And the worst part, and it's the fun part, are like the people, the delegations where there's only like one or two people for one sport or whatever. And you always love what the outfits. You always love the clothing for it. I know Bird and Alvarez are the flag
Always some
bearers.
pageantry,
Right.
What was it? England, they had like James Bond come in on like the wire and like the lights going, the different dances, trying to bring all the cultures all wrapped in. They're just going to put on this giant show for an empty crowd and some Olympians.
Yeah, and remember Brazil had Giselle get her last catwalk. But still, man, I don't know what they're gonna do, but I know it's gonna be a lot of Rona in Japan, and I hope no one gets seriously ill from this virus.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, I think, for the Olympics. The Olympics have been going through some bad looks of late. When you talk about how awful Brazil was with the conditions, with everything, you're talking about all the issues since then, talking about like, hey, basically countries just pay for all this stuff and then it just rots away, empty, useless afterwards, and really isn't a good thing. F the IOC. And now it's like, hey, we having the Olympics right in the middle of COVID hotspot. I don't give a damn. We paused it once. We're not pausing again.
Right. Hey, those other people had sports. We got to get ours in too. That's what they're basically saying.
And the ratings are usually terrible for the Olympics, and it's just going to be like, what's going on here?
Right. Right. You know what would have been, I hate to say it, it would have been better had the Olympics taken place while we were locked in, because we would have had nothing to do but watch it, basically. But now, since we back outside, like you said, the ratings are always bad because one is usually in a different time zone, so you're not watching it live and you already know what took place if you're a sports fan. But man, this is bad business, to say the
right.
least.
And you're just going to turn on like the White Sox game, see like everyone going crazy, turn on the Olympics, and it's like, oh, this isn't as fun. Yeah,
tumbleweed. It's bad business.
Oh, poor Olympians! I feel bad for them. It's tough.
Yeah.
Like Simone, I want to get hyped about Simone, but I'm not feeling the hype right now.
I'm not either, and she's another reason why I don't want to cancel, because it's like you guys are ruining her tally. All right, she
got
needs
the freaking GOAT of women's gymnastics.
Exactly. So she needs to get a couple more of those gold medals to tally up and add up before whoever comes along behind her tries to come and usurp her greatness.
Oh man, what if one of these Olympian judges like screw her out of it on top of everything that's going on? Woo!
They better not come to America, because we're gonna find you and smoke you out. We will not have
Goddamn
that.
French judge, fuck you.
It's always the French judge, isn't it? Damn it. All right.
Every single time.
You know what time it is, man. It's time to go up for grabs with Ryan B. Ski. Ryan B. Ski, what you got for me?
Well, I want to do a little football, since that's basically where we're transitioning to, besides the Olympics, which we just talked about as not as buzzy. But there's been a couple interesting reports, so I want to know which is the bigger surprise to you. Go ahead.
The Olympic rings, one of them should have the Corona spike protein in it. It sponsored by it. It made as well. I'm sorry, but please continue.
I'm sure that'll be a PR just total perfection. Everybody will love that.
It's just being honest. I'm just being honest, man. That's what you're gonna get. The Rona Olympics.
But with the reports, there's a report that Aaron Rodgers turned down a 2-year deal to make him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And then we got a report today from the Chicago Tribune that Eddie Goldman will report to training camp for the Bears. Which one's the bigger surprise to you, Kenneth?
I guess I would say neither, but for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to say Eddie Goldman, because clearly the the Packers offered him more money. They weren't flying out to Los Angeles just to look at his face. They were coming out there with different deals. And of course, one of them had to be, as was reported, let's put 2 more years on your contract. Basically, Jordan Love is not going to end up starting here. And unless we're going to pay both of y'all, and Jordan Love would be willing to sit behind you and eat up 5 years of his career. But Aaron Rodgers wants less time there, not more. One thing I think we've said here before, I think Aaron Rodgers is playing in Green Bay this year. Even though if anybody's going to sit out, it could and would be him.
He's a difficult fella.
But I think he's trying to get it set up to where this is his last year in Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what he wants straight out, but I'm sure that there has to be compromise, and the compromise will be, all right, after this year that you're out. You know, we still got to get something for you. We're still got to be involved in a trade with you, but you're out. And that's what he wants, I would believe. So I do think he's going to play. But getting back to the Eddie Goldman thing, hey, I had some thoughts that maybe he didn't want to play football anymore. And when he didn't show up to mandatory camp and Matt Nagy didn't cover for him, Matt Nagy said this was not an excuse absence. It was like, hold on, this dude may be thinking about walking away. He already showed. I mean, I think about how he didn't accrue a year. So he's a year closer to getting to another contract. All right. He didn't accrue a year. I think the stipend, it was less than $400,000. So it's not like he got paid his regular money. Think about it. That dude in the offseason before last year was like, okay, I'm about to get this many millions of dollars and add that to the piggy bank, right? He didn't get that. So when you think about someone that didn't get the amount of money that they were going to make, didn't accrue another year to get closer to another contract, and he's not showing up for mandatory camp after not showing up for OTAs, but the OTAs things is kind of different. I was like, maybe he either doesn't want to be a Bear or he doesn't even want to play football anymore. And it made me think about all those 49ers who retired early about 6 or 7 years ago.
Still reeling over Patrick Willis's retirement.
Right. And the guy that was supposed to replace him retired. You had a defensive lineman, I believe, that retired. But yeah, I would say Eddie Goldman, because I'm sure the Pack have done everything except what Aaron Rodgers wants, and that's an immediate exit out of Green Bay. So I'm sure they offered him more money and more time in Green Bay. That didn't really surprise me. And also, it's another PR stunt by the Packers to even put it out there. So look what we did. We tried our best. You don't even want to be here.
But they're getting suckered in, apparently. I think the fans are buying Green Bay over Aaron Rodgers.
All right. Do you.
Isn't it just kind of crazy? Like, would you ever thought, like, he's going to demand his way out of Green Bay?
Yeah, I would have thought that.
I never would have thought that.
I thought it could, depending on the fact that they looked like they was never going to get to another championship. And like, if you're that great and they're not putting weapons around you, and you see other teams, well, they do whatever they need to help their quarterback. And Green Bay has been unwilling to just placate to their best player, one of the greatest players of all time. Yeah, I would think.
It's placating to help your quarterback be the best he can be. We're not doing that. We're in the business of doing our thing.
Right. Do what we want.
Right.
Yeah, dude. I'm. It's, to me, it's bonkers that they cut off their nose to spite their face, and they actually thought that they were better and more important than Aaron Rodgers. Period. And that's crazy.
They better freaking rue that decision. I don't want to see this like, oh, look at Jordan Love, our next great quarterback. Boom, boom.
What if it's true? Boy, I'll tell you this. Brett Favre beat me into enjoying their quarterbacks. But I gotta, if Jordan Love is good, I can't be a fan. I can't.
Yeah, we gotta draw the line somewhere.
Right. I'm out of the Green Bay quarterback love. I'm tired. You guys can't have 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks back to back to back. It would be. I need.
Would it be offsetted if Justin Fields was a Hall of Famer as well?
It'd be dope. That'd be dope to actually have a rivalry where we both have atomic weapons instead of them always having the atomic weapon.
I just need a few years of us having the atomic weapon.
I'm with you.
Only.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Exclusive atomic weapon. We're never gonna get 20 like they had. Just give me at least 3 seasons. Come on.
I'm
God
with
damn
you.
it.
I'm totally with you. What's next?
Our next, Anthony Joshua, the heavyweight, putting his belts on the line September 25th. Got an excitement level seeing that the champ is putting his belts on the line for a possible pre-warm-up to Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder?
I hope no, but I hope he doesn't play to his competition like he usually does. I would like to see him come out and dominate and kick somebody's ass and fight like a big man. As Manny would say, Emmanuel, as he would tell Lennox Lewis, let your hands go. Stop playing with him. I would love for him to fight like a big man and knock somebody's asses out, and not again play to his competition. He should play like he's an elite boxer. So we'll see. I mean, I have an affinity for Anthony Joshua, but I don't trust him.
How about these 3? We got the Oscar De La Hoya coming out of retirement September 11th, the Anthony Joshua, or the trilogy of Fury Wilder. Is that the obvious one?
The trilogy of Fury and Wilder. I'm definitely more this most interesting. I don't want to see Oscar do anything.
What about Dana White? I want to see that one.
The old Sugar Ray Leonard money grab comeback. That was the first boxer. I know boxers have been doing this for a long time, but that was the first boxer in my lifetime. I was like, damn, that's the 4th time he retired. He just came back again. Right. No, I don't want to see Oscar.
Sugar, what are you spending it on?
Let you also know that Golden Boy is not doing that well when he got to go put his ass back out on the line.
Dana White would say the cocaine habit's going out of control.
Right. He's blowing it on blow. Yeah, it's definitely the trilogy of Fury Tyson. That's the only thing that's been interesting. And I mean, to see what Joshua would do, but that's 2 actually contenders facing one another.
I seriously keep thinking about when we talked about, I think it was Fury Joshua before the arbiter came in. Boxing needs to put on like a fight twice a year. Just a total card. Like, I keep thinking about our discussion about that. If you had that fight with the Fury Wilder, Fury Wilder fight on top of it, you can even throw Oscar as like a 3, like early pre-match, whatever. That would be a card I would definitely have to see.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you. But since boxing doesn't have a commissioner, you'll never see it. You'll never. All these promoters are in the way of letting us get what we really want, and that's the best fighting the best because they want to grab as much money as they possibly can.
And that's the tricky part for me because like I want the commissioner, but Dana White's such an asshole, and like his fighters get nothing, and I just like hate that model. But fights get done in that model,
right? Totally. You know, selfishly you want it, but like you say, that the fighters, they don't reap the benefits that the top boxers reap.
And I did want to selfishly call Dana White an asshole a couple times, so I'm happy that I was able to get that.
That's good for you. Good for you.
My last up for grabs, question for Ken. After watching the Bucks win a title, do you have the championship lust for your White Sox now?
Definitely. I mean, Eloy is on the way. All right.
Wait, Eloy or Louis?
Eloy is a couple weeks away from like a week or 2 away from returning. Lou Bob, he's been allowed to do baseball activities. I think
he just got cleared to do a rehab assignment, I believe.
Okay, but
or is about to be cleared.
He's about to be cleared, I believe. But Eloy's already done his assignments. He's been in two different A balls, I believe. So he's on his way back, and I mean, so our outfield is about to be right.
I like
again.
that grin. I like that grin.
Our outfield is about to be right. The Sox have won, I think, 8 out of the last 11 games. You look at what they did in Game 2 against the Twins, and then what they did last night. Man, it's nice here. I hope we continue to keep doing it. But yeah, I definitely want to feel it, and I'm excited. And also, second note, I was looking. Matt Zawoski had put out on Instagram that Yerman Mercedes took all the White Sox stuff down from his Instagram page, right? Because he's not coming back, everybody. But
apparently Tony La Russa still has got a huge problem with his 3-0 homer.
Hey, I said when people was like that Yerman shouldn't have did what he did, I was like, you don't know if this may be the last time that he's in the big show or not. And as of right now, he's not coming back in the White Sox uniform. He's not coming back to the big show. I mean, so he's going to end up someplace else, and maybe they'll use him as his DH. I wish him success, but that may have been his moment. So, like, you got to take it. If you only got a moment with your one shot, so you got to take it. So, I mean, that's why I wasn't upset with him, because I'm like, dude, Shuddy was 20. Shuddy been in the minors, man. He's 28 years old. All right, like, please. But yeah, my team. I definitely would love it. I would get to experience it with. I got to experience it with Afton, but I would get to experience it with my daughter and my son, even though they're not. They're Sox fans, but they're not diehards.
Well, you got like D in the crew.
Definitely,
that's another one to share it with.
Yeah, I got my guys. I'm sure we would probably get together. D and Tony.
If he ever texts back in the group, you might see him at the stadium.
Right. And D and Tony, remember this. D and Tony have they can get tickets to the World Series because they get season ticket package. So yeah,
that's a nice little ace up the sleeve right there.
That's the reason some people keep those ticket packages, so that for that reason, to be able to get to the tickets to the World Series. So I would love it. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it comes to fruition.
Where are you at on a 1 to 10? Because before, with the injuries, obviously you were pretty down on them. Now
I'm a 9. Back, I'm a 9. I mean, it's just in the AL, it's the Astros.
Yeah,
even though the Red Sox are coming around. Chris Sale's coming back off of assignment soon.
I don't get how every 4 or 5 years they just pop up as like this monster team. Since 2000s, like every 4 or 5 years, here come the Red Sox,
right?
This championship contender.
But the Astros, as far as in the American League, those are the teams that, I mean, you never know, but those are the teams that are looking like the teams that you're going to have to go up against. But I think we got one of the better teams in baseball, and that's before we even get back some of our big time sluggers, and before we bring back whoever we bring back before the trade deadline.
How sweet was it taking 2 out of 3 from the Astros, hearing all this good injury news? Like, as long as Tony La Russa doesn't fuck it up, it's all good in the hood.
Hey, Tony's cool over here right now, but it's sweet, man, and it's definitely nice to not be complaining about your baseball team.
Are you as into the trade deadline? Are you not worried about it so much with the boys coming back?
I'm into the trade deadline. I mean, you listen, if they get Frazier, you've settled the right field situation when Nick Magical comes back, because you have
whatever don't come back with Nick Magical, you got the infield set up,
right? Depending on how he comes back. Was Trevor Story, I mean, the rental, I'd rather have something more than a rental. I mean, just because I'm looking at this year and next year, and perhaps getting a bullpen arm. Yeah, I think the Sox are going to be active because, I mean, on top of that, it's not like they've been slumping. So it's even more reason to add additions to this team that looks like they can make a real run for it in the playoffs.
Boy, we got some good stuff after this NBA Finals with the Bucks winning it. Wish we had a Game 7, but we're going to hand it off right to the Justin Fields daily reports, right into playoff baseball. And probably by the time the White Sox run is over, Justin Fields will be starting for the Bears.
That's the only part that's crazy when your team plays deep into the playoffs and you're going with football and your baseball team.
That's
right?
what makes October so great.
I know, right? That's what makes it so crazy when your team goes deep and you have baseball during your football season, which usually you don't have because our teams don't go deep.
Or the Bears
often.
just suck ass, and the baseball teams that are going deep are the ones that you have to like actually be excited for, and you just get through Sundays with the Bears.
Definitely. Well, definitely, we always appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day and joining us.